just having the layers like this, you could instantly start jumping in it and creating something that obviously is going to work for trailers. Hi, I'm Don Bodan from SampleLibraryReview.com. Today we're going to be checking out the brand new Detonator Rage by PulseSetter Sounds. Now, this is the first release in PulseSetter's new Rage line. This is sample libraries specifically designed for trailer composers, and I could not be more excited about this library. It's focused on aggressive sound design for trailer music, including tonal one-shots, impacts, and playable melodic instruments. Library downloads is 8.7 gigabytes. Its samples range from sampling analog synths like the Moog, Slim Fatty, Arturia Max Brute, and wavetable synths, as well as modular synths. There's sound design created by guitar performances, as well as sample sets for brass sections and solo instruments, as well as samples of animal sounds, tire screeches, submarine pings, and much more. All those samples taken through a signal chain, and sound design techniques include a guitar pedal signal chain processing for a total of 1,700 total one-shots and 550 custom trailer tonal hits. The library's engine comes with both a dual layer, which has 2 sets of one-shot samples across your keyboard, and a crossfade engine. There's also a single layer engine with more detailed functions and a step sequencer. And the effects page has step sequencing for each effect. This library normally sells for $129, and at the time of putting this together, it's on a special intro price of $89.99. You may have seen that I've done a first look video of Epic Babies, a fantastic library from PulseSetter Sounds, and Sample Library Reviews 2018 top free instruments included MetalStorm by PulseSetter Sounds. I guess we've sent so much traffic over there, the developer reached out and gave viewers like yourselves a 15% discount code. I'll include that in the description below. All right, I've got the folder structure here so you could see it. Got some documentation, which I haven't read yet. I was so excited. I wanted to jump in and look through this. I'll pause and read the documentation if I get stuck along the way, but this is a first look video. First time I'm opening up Detonator Rage and taking a look at what the library has to offer here. Important note, it looks like you have WAV files for every sample if you prefer to work that way. I know sometimes I'll want to just go in and grab some samples and align them to my grid. We've got instruments folders, 4 categories: performance tonal hits, trailer elements, trailer impacts, and trailer tonal hits. I've got performance tonal hits loaded up, and it looks like we've got 2 separate playbacks, the blue ones, which are high impacts, no RRs. Oh, this is awesome. Look at this. You got a pull down of additional menu items. And then over in the green area, we've got hit sub booms. Nice ring on that one. And then throughout both of these, what I see right away is I have the ability to tune. Let's see. Now let's see if that tune is tuning every note or just the individual pitch. Oh, that's wacky right there. Of course, we've got panning, ADSR, and then we've got some sequencing here, which looks like it is got a little red button right there. Let's turn it on. And we've got steps, rate. Okay, I might have to play with that a little bit more. It looks like yeah, that could be kind of cool. And okay, looks like there's tons to go through here. So let's just dig right in. That was impacts with no RRs. I'm going to just go into impacts. I'm going to turn my sequencer off. I just want to hear more of the sample set. I've also got these looks like tuning keys down at the bottom, which I'm a big fan of this functionality, if this is what I think it is. This way, you know you're in the key of D, which most of the trailer stuff can tend to be, and then you can just hit D down here at the bottom of the keyboard, and all of your samples will tune to that particular note. Now these are hit impacts that I've loaded up here. Also got impacts mixed. And before we go too much further, most of you may be asking, what's up with the verb? Let's turn it off and listen to the samples without verb for a moment, shall we? I like these dry samples. They've got a little bit of ring to them, which is natural, I think. And then with that verb, the same samples. Nice big ring for the hall. And without. Nice tail, nothing too dramatic, but actually, I really do like the dry samples myself. Not that it depends on the track, of course, what kind of style we're going for. Let's move along, listen to some of these mixed hits. Yeah. And just gonna kind of hop through because we got so many. Here's some short impacts. Get a little longer than I expected. Nice buzz and hum to that. And listen to some of these Swoosh Bangs. Hit Swoosh Bangs. Let me correct myself there. Yeah, quite a few of these. Synth bass swipes. Yeah, let's play with that for a second. Yeah, just using the little tuning keys at the bottom, I'm already getting some fun ideas. Those are Moog 1, Moog 2. As I mentioned, they sampled quite a bit of different synths to create the library here. Now, I'm wondering if these will be available in another patch further on to actually play as leads for each of the samples instead of having the tuning going on. Down here, having them as a single sample stretched chromatically across the keyboard. I'll be eager to see as we move along. Synth Morphs is some of these categories. And I got 4 of those sets of Synth Morphs. And Synth Morphs down. Bass hits low. Yeah. Oh, that just keeps going. Basses, guitars, Brahms, snares, odds. Let's jump on into some guitars. Actually, I want to hear these bass tortured Brahms. And some guitar stuff. Here's some extreme bends. And some guitar bends. And guitar organic effects. Yeah. Some looped guitar stuff. This should be interesting. Again, this is one that I'm curious to see if they create a multi-sampled chromatic patch across the keyboard with this kind of sample set. And we've got some Brahms. Yeah, continuing on. Got some, these are all brass samples for these Brahms. Maybe it's sound designed from brass, from what I remember reading. No Hit Brahms trailer. Some tonal Brahms, medium and tonal. It's not letting me turn off the verb on that. Wacky stuff there. That's all in the sample too. I keep clicking back to see the effects to make sure that I'm not hearing effects going on, and these are just the sound design. Sirens here. Gonna listen to some of the Morph Sirens. Sirens Bender Downer. And Bender Upper. And some synth lead. I'm sorry, Siren lead Bender. Yeah. Let's check out some of these odd samples. Odd harsh tonal. Just having the layers like this, you could instantly start jumping in it and creating something that obviously is going to work for trailers. Continuing on odd samples here. Odd, harsh, mix 2. Now, these are samples from Animals. Sound design through guitar pedals, and different effects chains. And they got a couple of those non-distorted odd samples. Again, I'm all I've got is the sub hit booms on this side, and I'm able to start kind of crafting something that I think would be fun to compose into. Odd piano submarine. All right, I am hoping that these are chromatic instruments a little later on with these piano submarines. That's really going to be fun. We're just scratching the surface here, guys. Got impact and spread synths. So on one side, we've got impacts. The other side, subatomics. And you can see we got quite a sample set to load. So let's just, again, play along and see what we got. Some bass stuff. That's kind of fun. A lot of raw synth stuff. So impacts and spread synths, that's the name of this particular two split engine. Now we've got impacts and spread guitars. These guitars are super wacky. Oh my goodness. Look at all these different, so many samples. All right, let's move on to the next set of instruments, the trailer elements. Analog tones mapped. Oh, great. This has the what I was asking about, which would be the analog instruments created as multi-sampled across the keyboard. Uh-oh, not getting any sound there on that one. I see. It's not loaded up. That's all. You just need to click here. It looks like it's the same engine. They just didn't save them loaded up with the sample here. And then all in one, what is this? Oh, this is kind of cool. So now you can switch between your samples across the keyboard, and you still got controls here and some controls up top. It looks like that's doing some different effects. up at top here. Yeah, see how it's turning on the effects. So you've got latch key switching for your effects there. And if you were to actually program these in, you'd probably do a little bit more than what I was experimenting with. And it sounds like it's got some kind of format sample hold right here that it's doing. That's kind of cool. It's fun and little animation. Moving on, bass and brass tones as one instrument. And again, you got to load it up here. It doesn't load with anything in the center of your keyboard. So that's analog synth sample set. Close brass. So these are the same samples we heard in the tonal section, but you've got your, it looks like your waveform looping, as well as your controls for on-off latching for effects. Guitar elements. Here's an instrument for, it says all in one. So let's see. Looks like we got a number of presets here for sample loading. So those are all the bends. All right, so chunks. This is the first time we've heard anything rhythmic, pulsing. I'm at 120, and you know what I'm going to do next. Yep, it's all tempo synced to your DAW. I went from 120 to 180 and down to 70, so you can hear that syncing. This day and age, you expect everything to tempo sync and lock, but sometimes developers just don't do it. I'm always a little confused when I get a library that won't sync to my DAW, and that's very important. Long, heavy guitars. And again, you can change your key down here. So rather than play through every one of these again, let's jump into the individual mapped guitars, and I'm going to go and load up my chunk all, and my guitar chunk 1 now, multi-sampled across the keyboard. Crunch. And now we've got Schwartz. Looks like they gave us 5 octaves across those. Folder of harsh tones. Boy, I feel like I need to start skipping, or this is going to be like one of those 3-hour videos. I like the way they've divided the categories too. When you go to, for instance, tonal morph hit 1, all these samples sound like I kind of live in the same world. Jumping to 7. Same thing is true there. Let's jump into some rhythmic hybrid pulse. And with our ability to change our root note here at the bottom, and we got Moog pulses as well. I can't tell you how useful I think these clock rhythms alone will be, because there's so often that I'm just like, I need a fun, cool clock rhythm. I've got an hour to do this piece of music. Something like this is going to be very helpful. All right, moving along, we've got the Sirens in a similar single-sampled engine, and trailer analog plucks. Let's check out a few of these. Let's check out the effects there, because this is the first one I've heard where they're really utilizing more than just the sample and a little bit of reverb. You've got the distortion, the filter, and the LFO. Let's go ahead and play with this a little bit. Yeah, I can see how we're starting to really be able to manipulate each of the sounds a little further out, get something a little bit more unique. Now we've got some sequenced patch starters. So this will really show us how we can utilize the sequencing with the instruments they've created. pulses, sequences. I always feel like these are the sexy NKIs of most trailer instruments. You know, it's not exactly a one-note wonder, but it is a way that I feel like you could play one note, start to manipulate a little chord progression, and then get a feel for creating your own kind of sound around it. Got a selection of trailer pads. Yeah, that's just the one pad loaded up on this side. Let's go ahead and pull something over here up. And with these two here, you can see the mod wheel is a crossfade. So we could bring the volume of this a little more aggressive one down and do something like this. Yeah, real morph into something crazy. Let's pick a few more to just kind of listen to. Yeah, again, that's kind of cool that you can just go from one to another. Or just lightly blend the two together, or even do a little bit of panning. This could be cool. Oh, trailer pianos. And it looks like we've got some ghost shadow piano. Or a ghost shadow warm, ghost piano, trailer piano ghost warm. And submarine. This is what I've been excited about since we first. Okay, here we've got all the submarine samples. Similar to the first instrument that was a dual layer, we just got it as a single layer. And then we've got the submarine pianos mapped across the keyboard. This is what I was really excited about. Let's see. liking this. And what I'm wondering... This is my thought. I think what I would probably start to do is load in one of each, ghost piano and the submarine, manipulate them. Yeah, I think I would play around with that quite a bit, just layering what's already created. Okay, let's go back up to the main folder here. We've got the trailer impacts as a separate folder. We listened to quite a few of these, I feel like, throughout, and now it looks like they've given it to us as kits and distorted drums. Let's find out. Man, for the asking price, there's a ton of great usable stuff. And I know I'm always looking for ways to replace my old hits, stuff I've heard tons of in trailers, looking for new sound design. And then impacts with round robins. This will be... I'm very curious to see how these sound. Okay, we got sequence on. Let's turn the sequence off. Okay, you can hear there's only a couple round robins in there, but these are sequenced. Yeah, quite a few of these. These are kind of cool. And then mapped spread. Impact sound samples, mapped spread. Let's go to the ones without the sequence on. And that's nice. They've given to you chromatically for each of those samples across the keyboard in case you really wanted to dig in. Here's just Swoosh Bangs with just the bangs. Loads up with nothing again. I would love to, if it would just load up with the first one, save me one more click. Of course, I can now save this after I've loaded up, if I really want it that way. So this is called the Swoosh Bangs, and this is just the bangs. And Swoosh Bangs here. Again, loading it up. And I think we heard some of this sample set already in the other layers. Dual layer engine, I should say. And the only thing I could say here that maybe I'm overlooking, but I would have loved to have just the swooshes without the bangs. So you got the just bangs and the swoosh bangs. And I would have had just the swoosh. Am I asking for too much? You guys could tell me. Okay, trailer, tool, tonal hits. These are trailer hits, no swells. And looks like we've got a few different categories. Some Brahms. Then we got the same sample set with no swells. Oh, I'm sorry, with swells. That is a fine sample there. That is gonna wrap it up for the first look of PulseSetter Sounds, brand new Detonator Rage, their new series for trailer sound design. I'm really pleased with this. Tons of content and a very simple, workable interface. Does just what I needed to, not more than I need to, and not anything less than I necessarily might use, just right. It is very focused, as we could hear throughout. It is aggressive. It's very aggressive sounding. I'd say it ranges from action, horror, a tiny bit of horror suspense, but a lot of sci-fi action going on in this stuff. It is pretty fresh, yet it sounds relevant. I think it's one of those things where it's a step away from some of the stuff I'm hearing right now, not 2 steps away where it's creating its own world so much as it's expanding on a universe that we're already familiar with in the sound design world. I think it'd be very fresh, unique, and useful for those of us working on trailers. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the library? Is it something you'd be picking up? I think I mentioned there's that special promo code. I'll list that in the description below. You could save additional 15% off the library right now, thanks to PulseSetter Sounds for sending that over for you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. I always love your support. Be sure to head over to samplelibraryreview.com for the latest news, reviews, and our weekly deals page.